Joining us today is Ben Turney, the CEO of Kavango Resources. Hello, Ben. Thank you very much for your time. How are you?
I'm very good, thanks, Mark. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's good to be talking to you, Ben. Of course, today we're going to be talking about the KCB, that's the Kalahari Copper Belt, and you've announced that the finalisation of an ambitious drill strategy that's designed to be flexible in the KCB, and the goal is to make one or more of the drill holes economically viable. Now, I did notice that it is an ambitious drill program, a total of 188 drill locations over 13 priority areas. You're not going to actually drill 188 holes, I don't think, but 37,500 meters. That's a lot of drilling, isn't it?
Well, hang on, Mark. I mean, that's exactly our goal. We want to drill all of these if we can. I mean, look, this has been a huge amount of work. I've kept on coming on here and saying this to you and to sort of the other media partners that we work with, always talking with shareholders as well. We've put as much out in the public domain as we could as we've gone along. But this really is the culmination now of 18 months, very hard work. We started off from a pretty low base. Unfortunately, sort of old Kavango and sort of some of the work that had been done in 2021 wasn't really up to scratch. So when John Lauderdale came in properly in summer 2021, he really did overhaul things. And I've got to say, huge credit to John for today's program. Unfortunately, John did leave us about a month or so ago. He was poached by Sandfire. He's now taken a very senior role in the Botswana and Namibia team. We're very close with John. But, I think a lot of the credit for today's drill strategy is really based on the foundation that John put in place, and obviously handed over to Fred, who's now our new exploration manager. So we've got, I'm just delighted, Mark. I'm so happy with this piece of work. And as we've gone along, as we've worked through the gears on this, the size of the opportunity in front of us has just become more and more clear. Certainly as the weeks have gone by, we've got fantastically prospective ground. Today is only 4 of our 12 licenses, represents only 4 of our 12 licenses, and we have more work to do within those 4 licenses and the other 8 to cover. So ultimately, our goal is to drill as much of this as we possibly can, because if the copper is there, as I said today, we're going to find it.
Yes, I noticed that if copper exists on our ground, I'm confident that our highly experienced technical team will find it. And another statement I noticed was our goal was to become a major player in the KCB. So, I mean, there's some quite bold statements here, Ben. I know you are known for your ambitious statements, but I mean, is there a risk here of being a bit too ambitious? That's an awful lot of drilling. How are you going to do it? And ultimately, can the company afford it?
Well, there's an impression out there that Kavango is all talk. I understand that, with the share price performing as it is over the last 6 months. But that's one way of looking at the company. It does not reflect the action that we've taken as a business. And if you look through our R&S record, you'll see how much progress we're making on the ground. And our goal is to prove those doubters wrong and deliver for our shareholders. The work that we've done at Kavango, I get to see this day in, day out. And I'll be honest with you, it's been a hard slog. There was a lot that we needed to fix in this company. We're dealing with technically challenging projects, while also having to do this in the public glare. So, I'm very keen that we come out swinging. In terms of how we're going to pay for this, well, this is really a lot of the work that I've personally been doing this year has been talking with potential partners, with potential funders. If you look at how we've got the corporation now set up, we've got effectively 2 vehicles. We have the Kavango Resources vehicle that we're about to take 100% ownership on, and of course the LVR vehicle, where we have an effective working interest of 90%. These gives us great optionality in terms of the type of financing that's available to us. So today's program, it's a statement of clear intent. It's a very, very thorough piece of work that's gone into this. We are massively drill ready now. So what I can now do is that the various conversations that I've been having with a lot of different parties, both here and across Southern Africa, some in the US as well, I'm going to be now sort of pursuing those leads. While at the same time, Kavango will continue under its own steam. So as you highlighted at the start, this is a flexible drill program. So we've got a plan that we're going to execute, with our own resources that we currently have. But my focus is also on bringing in partners as well. We've got 14,000 square kilometres across, just over 14,000 square kilometres across Botswana. We know that we've got the Tamesis processes in play with the KSZ. We've got a few options that we're looking at with Ditau as well. So there's a lot happening with Kavango, albeit in very difficult market conditions. But I'm confident that we are going to deliver on this.
And just picking up on the fact you mentioned looking for partners there, is there anything that you can elaborate on with that? Because that sounds quite interesting.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is something that companies like to play a bit of smoke and mirrors with. So I'm conscious that we don't act in that way. We're also subject to NDA, so I'm limited in terms of a number of things I can say. But broadly speaking, I've been looking at potential financing options, so different financing houses. And also at commercial partners as well. One of the great things about our land package in the KCB is that we've obviously got over 5,000 square kilometres. So we offer a fantastic entry point for anybody interested in breaking into the copper belt in Botswana. Of course, you've got the major players like Sandfire and Khoemacau, and there's speculation that Khoemacau are going to get taken out. That was a bit earlier this year in a $1.5 billion deal. So there's certainly a lot of interest out there. I think really, Mark, the main thing is just watch this space. We're presenting everything that we can publicly, so you can see the steps that we're taking forward technically with the various results that we've got, which obviously have culminated in today's drill strategy, but also the steps that we're taking on the corporate side as well. So we've completed the LVR transaction recently. We've accelerated that. And we're also in the process of taking over the power metal stake in Kavango Resources. We're about to become 100% owner of Kavango. That is a huge deal for us. We're picking that asset up at a great price. And I think you just watch this space.
And just on the market conditions then, do you think the market conditions will affect the operations of Kavango and, of course, your action on the ground?
In terms of our action on the ground, our operations, no. Look, we've got a plan. We have to execute that plan. We're not going to take our foot off the accelerator. We are going to keep going. I think if you look at the overall outlook for copper in particular, is extremely bullish. The green revolution is now happening, particularly after the summer that we've just had. And this has been a global phenomenon. I mean, I think it's really seeped into the popular consciousness now that we have to act on climate change, whether or not you believe in it or the politics of it. This trend is going to happen, and the simple fact is there is not enough copper and nickel to meet the demand that there will be as we look to electrify our economies and our transportation systems. So the overall outlook for us is extremely bullish. It takes about 6 to 8 years to bring a copper discovery into production. So the lead time on these projects is huge. So from our point of view, the priority now is to make discoveries. And with the drill program we've announced today, this is 37,000 metres of drilling across highly prospective ground with very thorough work that's gone in. We've done everything we can to maximise our chances of success. So we will, of course, press ahead. In terms of the actual market conditions and share price performance, well, we just all have to suck it up at this stage. We're major shareholders ourselves in the business. We're all highly motivated by equity. The share price where it stands today is painful. There's no two ways about it. What all we can do is deliver, do everything we can to make a discovery. And I think at some point, this £7 million market cap, my hope is that, at some point next year, people will be looking back on this and kicking themselves, thinking, why the hell didn't we buy Kavango?
Okay, well, thank you. Well, what I'd like to do, Ben, if possible, is actually do one of our special features on the KCB. If you could, if you've got some slides or when you have more information about where you're going to target and where the drills are going to go, it'd be nice to actually do a bit more of a deep dive into the exploration plans at the KCB. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a good idea, Mark. I mean, look, there's a huge amount of detail, and I think the presentations we've done in the past have gone down very well. I think, let's do something sort of maybe a bit later on this week. There's some more, we've got a bit more that's going to be coming out in the nearest future, but I'll certainly be ready to talk about that very soon. So I'd really appreciate the opportunity.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Ben Turney, the CEO of Kavango Resources.
Thanks for having me, Mark, and I'm looking forward to doing the video presentation with you maybe this weekend.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stopboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.